Okay, now for my secret project. Hey guys, Kathy at Northstar Prepsteader. Well, this particular video is going to take me several days to video it and to get it done because first of all, it's a bigger project, and secondly, we have a lot of storms coming in and out, and I don't know how much work I'm going to be able to get done at each time interval that I have. Anyway, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do, what my plan is, and then I'll take you along with my process. Okay, since last fall I have been collecting some pallets, and I just got a couple more. My plan with this is to build compost bins. I would like to get 2 of them out of these. Now, I was originally thinking about tucking it right in here against lilac bushes. I lost a branch in a storm here. But I need to trim all of these, and I really didn't want compost this close to the house because of critters and different things. And also, if it's heating up and I have, you know, this hot pile going, it's right next to my LP tank, which is not a great idea. So time to switch plans on that one. I don't have that big of a property. I mean, I do have a double lot, but when it comes to compost and stuff, I kind of want to be a little bit more careful of where I put it. So my plan is to utilize this back corner here where I've had my dirt pile. So it's kind of under all of these elm trees that are the bane of my existence here on this property. So we've got these 3 trees here, and I've been trying to keep it cleaned out in between them, keep it mowed, keep the branches out, that type of thing. Well, a couple years ago I got this huge pile of dirt, and I've used a lot of it for my garden beds, but everything else now is so full of weed seeds, and there's not a whole lot left here. And I just spent a couple hours yesterday pulling all the weeds out of here and trying to get it down to just dirt. So what I'm going to do is take some of this, fill it in to low spots in the yard, and then try to level this out. The next thing I'm going to be working on here is to trim all of this growth off the trees here so that it's not interfering, and just to kind of clear it up. I need to take the chainsaw to these every couple years. Now, I've never built anything out of pallets before, so this is kind of an experiment for me. So I'm taking you along for this adventure in this learning process for me. So my plan is to build the bins right in here. The trees are on the property line, so I want to have it a little bit in, and just kind of here. So the ground is really unlevel, so I'm trying to level it out with this dirt and get it prepared. Okay, so I've got the base cleared away, but I have a question for you guys. Now, this particular tree, so we've got 3 main trees here. This one is dead all the way up. What you see there are branches from this tree coming over there, and this one is just so dead, except for this little patch here and the other one there. That's just, it's like growing off the bark almost, or in between the bark and the tree. But despite the fact that the main tree is dead, these keep bushing out. So if you have any ideas for how to get rid of all of these, please let me know. Now, these trees belong to my neighbor, and he hasn't done anything about taking these down. So you can see how dead that one is. And it's probably 20 feet, maybe 25 feet high, somewhere around there. And I mean, it's totally ready to come down. Now, these are on my neighbor's property, even though I maintain it under here. He hasn't, you know, good fence would be good. Anyway, he has not decided to take these down. So in the meantime, I have to deal with these, and then the branches right there come out about 40 feet into my property, and these are what drop all the millions of seeds. These are old elm trees, and so this one was probably diseased with the Dutch elm disease, I would think. And then the other tree next to it, there's a lot of dead branches on there, but they just need to come down. But in the meantime, all I can do is to keep them trimmed and mow between, keep the grass down, and try to keep this as best I can. I know if they do come down in a storm, it will cause damage to my property. It probably land in my garden. Definitely take out my clothesline that's there. I don't think it would touch my house, but they could easily get to my garden, because these trees are about 80 feet tall, I would say 75 to 80 feet. So if you have any ideas about these, please leave in the comments below. Just something that I could do to keep those from branching out all the time. Now these are definitely coming from a live tree, and they're just, you know, branches that are sprouting out from the base of the tree. And the same with over there. And see, I don't have a high enough ladder to be able to get up there and cut those branches down that are overhanging. This one is probably 15 feet to that branch that's going over there. So anyway, gonna finish trimming these up, and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. So it looks a lot better, all cleaned up. So you can see how much it opens it up here to get those bush thingies off of there, all those branches, and it's gonna be so much easier to take care of. I do this every year. So I've got a little pile of all of this brush, and I'm gonna clear that out, get rid of it. I also trimmed these a little bit so that they're not hanging down. I can walk under them easily. So I've got a pile from there too. So you might be wondering, Kathy, why are you putting your compost pile right beneath the elm trees that dump millions of seeds? First of all, like I said, I don't really have a lot of choices in my yard. I'm pretty limited with that. I also wanted it, like I said, far away from the house. My solution for that is I'm just going to cover it with a tarp for the week or two that the seeds will be falling, and I'll be just fine. I don't have to worry about it. So if these trees end up coming down on top of it, first of all, they're free pallets. I have like almost $0 invested in it. It's just some time. You know, once they clear the trees, I'll still have the compost and everything. So for me, it's not a huge risk. So it's the best place I have for it at this point. This is something I've been wanting to do for years and years and years. In fact, when I first moved here, the first couple years, I was kind of doing something similar, but not knowing what I was doing. So hopefully I know a little bit more, learning from all of you guys, but I sure would love to have some help and advice from you guys, so leave comments below. Now my daughter and my son-in-law came over today and helped me put this all together. Actually, they did most of it for me, but they didn't want to be on film, so I'm kind of showing it to you after the fact, but it's still not completely finished, and I would love to have your comments and advice on what I can do to add to this. So here are the pallets, and of course I've cleaned out all around the trees, and my compost bins. So it's like one big U shape with a divider in the middle. As you can see, we're already loading things in here, and I do have a pitchfork to turn this. Right now there's leaves and straw and a little bit of yard waste in there. Here we have a little bit of garden waste. What I did is I lined the bottoms of them with the boards that I'd pulled from my raised beds that I replaced. You can see how rotted they were. So I figured this would be a good platform to make sure that we don't get a lot of weeds and stuff growing up under there as things are decomposing. Now I've got plenty of boards and plenty of extra wood to fill in the gaps in the back here if I need to. And this is where I really need your help and recommendation. Do I fill in those gaps? Should I surround it with chicken wire? Or do I leave these gaps and leave a lot of air space here to flow around? Should I remove the inner boards? Although that is, you know, part of the structure. Now I can always build it out this direction a little bit if I need to. I can put, you know, gates on the front eventually if I need to. If I need to put like some kind of roof covering over it, I can certainly do that too. So this one's a little higher. I just might cut that down and put like a, you know, a board across the top, kind of like these have, just to be consistent. Anyway, guys, your advice would be greatly appreciated. So for those of you who want to know how we connected it, we put these two side pallets together and then actually cut some 2x4s for this section here and the section below, set it in there, and then screwed this into the 2x4s so it secured this one, and then on this side screwed it in to secure it to the same 2x4. So that 2x4 is connecting them, and it is so solid. It really is. Only a tornado will take this up. And I'm not wishing that at all. That was the corner. Again, put a couple braces here to secure both of these together, as well as the middle one. Only this side is not real solid. So I'm actually considering taking like a 1x4 or a 2x4 and running it along the full length, which is about 8 feet. Maybe shy a few inches, but it's about 8 feet. Just to connect the whole thing, to keep it really together and solid so it doesn't shift. And again, a 2x4 piece right in here that can help connect everything together and screw it in. So this side we have one pallet there, one here, a short one here, or a narrow one here, and another narrow one. So there are two pallets there that we had to connect, and then one in the middle and one at the end. This one's just a little bit lighter weight and a little flimsier built. So I think definitely supporting this somehow would be great. So my plan is to fill up one side completely full and keep turning that, and then start filling the other side so that one is really working while I'm piling on the rest. But you can see the gaps in there, and I would just like to get your advice on what I should do with those. So all the work I did in leveling this off really paid off, and I've got this in the very corner really of my property. So you can see I'm probably right on the property line here, and then right here for the building I'm just a few inches in. So right in the very corner. But this will get a little bit of protection with the trees. Not much, I mean a little bit from the rain. And these are all smaller, shorter pallets. And if you have any ideas what I could do with those, let me know. Otherwise I'm going to have to get rid of those. I could always make a third one on this side, a little smaller one, if I need to. But I feel so good about having a place now for my yard waste and my garden waste. So that is the latest and greatest project going on here, other than tons of canning and lots of things happening here. And I'll bring you guys on a full garden tour soon, but I just wanted to show you my latest project. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I sure would appreciate that. So like, comment, share, and hope you come back the next time. You guys take care. God bless. Always have hope. Bye-bye.